Lewis Hamilton has just finished one of the most important and exciting test sessions of his Formula One career, and the results are already making a big impact across the paddock. This wasn't just another regular test day at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya. It was a day where Hamilton pushed Ferrari's SF24 car to the absolute limit in extreme conditions, and the feedback he gave has left engineers, team members, and even rival teams talking about what this could mean for the 2025 season. The test was part of a special program in partnership with Pirelli, the official tyre supplier for Formula One. The goal was to gather critical data for both tyre development and car performance under a new and challenging setup. But what made this test stand out was the fact that Ferrari took a bold step by configuring the SF24 with a very low downforce setup. This change made the car much harder to control and was meant to simulate how future F1 cars might behave under the upcoming 2026 regulations. With less downforce, the car has less grip, especially in high-speed corners, making it more unstable. Normally at a track like Barcelona, teams aim to maximize downforce for better grip and control. But for this test, things were different. Hamilton was asked to drive the SF24 in these tough conditions, where the car's stability is seriously reduced and a driver's ability to control the vehicle becomes even more important. The tyres had to take on a greater share of the work, which gave Pirelli the chance to study how they performed in difficult situations. Despite how challenging this setup was, Hamilton showed right from the beginning that he was ready and fully focused. Engineers and observers who were present at the track said that Hamilton approached the test calmly. He didn't push the car too hard at first. Instead, he took his time to understand how the car behaved under braking, how it responded when exiting corners, and how balanced it felt through the turns. This careful and thoughtful approach helped him build up a rhythm quickly. After just a few laps, Hamilton was already delivering consistent lap times, even though the car had much less aerodynamic support than usual. Although Ferrari did not release the exact lap times, some people close to the team said that Hamilton was lapping in the low 120s. This is very impressive, considering how difficult the car was to drive in this setup. Normally, drivers aim for lap times in the mid-118s to 119s, with full downforce setups during the race weekends. To come this close in a car that was intentionally made harder to drive says a lot about Hamilton's driving skill and how quickly he can adjust to new conditions. Hamilton's feedback to the engineers was also detailed and valuable. He reported that the rear of the car was especially tricky to handle when accelerating out of slower corners, like turn 10 at Barcelona, but at the same time, he also pointed out that the car felt stable under braking. He said that the changes Ferrari had made to manage tyre wear were working well. The engineers were particularly impressed by how clearly Hamilton could explain the tyre behavior in both short and long stints. This type of input helps Pirelli understand how their tyres react in low downforce conditions, and it also helps Ferrari figure out how to build a better car for next season. What makes this even more important is the fact that Hamilton's previous test session with Ferrari's older SF23 did not go as well. During that test, on the second day, Hamilton lost control of the car and crashed. That accident stopped an important part of the testing plan and delayed the schedule. It also meant that Charles Leclerc, who was supposed to drive after Hamilton, had to miss his part of the test. That moment was a setback for the team and for Hamilton, but this time he showed how much he had learned from that experience. He came back more focused and adjusted his driving to handle the low downforce setup much better. Over the course of the day, Hamilton completed several long runs and short runs, giving both Ferrari and Pirelli the data they needed. The biggest takeaway was that Hamilton didn't just handle the test, he excelled in it. His performance proved that he is still one of the best in the world when it comes to understanding a car and making it perform in tough conditions. His ability to adapt quickly and give useful feedback means Ferrari now has a better idea of what kind of car they need for next season, and Pirelli can improve their tyre designs based on this new knowledge. Ferrari engineers praised Hamilton's work during the test. One person inside the team even said that having someone like Lewis in the car gives them a completely different perspective. He notices things that other drivers might not, and that helps the team improve faster. This kind of feedback is extremely valuable when you're trying to design a car and tires for new regulations that are just around the corner. Meanwhile, Charles Leclerc also returned to testing, but he was focused on the SF-23, which is last season's car. He used this session to work on handling and balance in more traditional conditions. While Leclerc's work was useful, the real spotlight was on Hamilton and his performance in the SF-24. Everyone in the paddock was talking about it. For Hamilton, this wasn't just another test. It was a moment to show that he can still lead the way in technical development and help Ferrari prepare for what's coming next in Formula One. The SF-24 has already been an important step forward. For Ferrari, while it didn't win the Constructors' Championship, it was strong enough to challenge McLaren, and Leclerc and Carlos Sainz managed to win 5 races with it. The car showed big improvements in cornering and tyre wear compared to the older models. But for the Pirelli test, Ferrari had to change the SF-24 quite a lot. By removing a lot of the downforce, the team made the car harder to drive, but more useful for understanding how future F1 cars might feel. This helped them gather information not only for the 2026 season, but also for how to make their 2025 car even better. Driving a car with reduced downforce is not just a matter of driving slower. It completely changes how the car handles. More pressure is put on the tires, and drivers have to be extra careful not to overheat them or lose grip. This is why Hamilton's strong performance in these conditions was such a good sign. If Ferrari can build a car that handles well even with less grip, they might be ahead of the competition once the new rules come in. And with a driver like Hamilton helping with development, their chances look even better. Even though the main goal of the test was focused on 2026 tires, the information collected can also help Ferrari with their plans for 2025. Handling and tyre wear will always be important, no matter the rules. With the detailed reports from Hamilton and Leclerc, Pirelli can now improve their tyre construction, and Ferrari can start adjusting their car designs earlier. This is especially important in modern Formula One, where every small improvement can make a big difference over the course of a season. For Hamilton, this test might have given him a new level of confidence in what Ferrari can offer. It's not a secret that Ferrari has been behind Red Bull and Mercedes in recent years, but if the SF-24 can perform this well in tough testing conditions, then maybe the team has what it takes to fight for championships again. Hamilton is known for being a smart and technical driver. His experience is one of his biggest strengths, and Ferrari is clearly using that to its full potential. At the same time, this test wasn't only about Ferrari. Other teams were also at the track. McLaren and Alpine were running their own test programs to prepare for the future. This shows that the fight for success under the new rules has already started. Everyone is trying to find the best way to handle the changes that are coming in 2026. But Hamilton's performance in this test has already made headlines. It has shown that he and Ferrari are not just watching, they're leading the way. The partnership between Hamilton and Ferrari is still new, but it is quickly becoming one of the most exciting stories in Formula One. Many fans and experts once thought it was an unlikely match. Ferrari and Hamilton seemed like they came from different worlds, but now after this test, that opinion is starting to change. Hamilton's ability to jump into a tough situation and come out on top is exactly what Ferrari needs right now. And if the team continues to improve with his help, the 2025 season could be one of the most competitive we've seen in a long time. As we get closer to the next season, more tests and updates will take place. But this session at Barcelona could end up being one of the most important. The data collected here might shape the direction of not just Ferrari, but of Formula One in general. The way teams handle low downforce setups, the way tires are designed, and the way drivers train, all of it could change based on what happened during this test. In the coming months, we'll likely hear more about how teams are using the information from these sessions. But for now, it's clear